I was drawing pictures on the moist sweetie shop window with my nose when a sparrow tugged at my trousers. "Come on," he called. He held out a wing and I took it between my first four fingers. Then we ran down the street until we came to the country. It must have looked incongruous, an old man in cork shoes — I have fibrositis — running alongside a sparrow, but recently I came across a book of photographs of old men in cork shoes running alongside sparrows. It was a Victorian book, so they must have been young men because of the time that's passed. The country was empty, just grass, about 100,000 miles, except a hedge of hawthorn down the middle with a ditch. We ran along the ditch Indian style, the sparrow in front. "Stop!" I cried. "What's the matter?" he replied. "What's your name?" I asked. "Fremsley," said the sparrow. "Fremsley? That's a nice name for a sparrow," said I. And we ran on till we came to a suitable bush. "Here you are," said Fremsley, "a suitable bush." And we crawled under it and waited. Suddenly I saw a commotion. "I say, Fremsley, there's a commotion coming this way," I whispered. You should have seen him. He turned stone white and shivered as though he had the ache. Hide me, he whimpered. So I hid him under my T-shirt, next to my heart. He dug his claws in, cocked his head feebly, and inquired, "Did you have a bath today?" "Shut up. Here they are," I whispered. A great aristocrat burst into the bush with two slavering dogs, his gleaming black taxi driver's leggings, his sagging khaki joppers, his scarlet commissioner's coat with golden epaulets like bath brushes, proclaimed him a man who could execute a sparrow without mercy, or understate the interest in his post office savings bank account to the commissioners of the Inland Revenue without annoying at the vitals of his concessions. He pulled me out of the bush and, placing his pendulous mouth open next to my ear, shouted, "Where's Fremsley?" I shook my head. Who could compete with this well-nourished man who was larger than nature intended? "What's that under your shirt?" indicating the fluttering bird. "Heart, mitrostenosis," I muttered. He knew I lied. I knew he knew I lied. But I knew he would never reach into my shirt. He was a man. To save my face, he ran off with his slavering dogs bellowing, "Fremsley, Fremsley!" His dogs bellowing, "Fremsley, Fremsley, Fremsley!" And they disappeared like dots onto the horizon. "You saved my life," sighed Fremsley. "For better things," I replied, and took him home and ate him for supper with chips.